what people were concerned about corporal punishment. Right? But now there's this, style that's been popularized, on social media, and particularly the millennials who are having children. It's called the gentle parenting style. Let me say that again. Gentle parenting style. Now, it is an approach to raising children that prioritizes connection, respect, validation, empathy, and positive discipline. Now, it emphasizes the importance of fostering a safe, nurturing environment that meets children's emotional needs, whilst also providing clear and consistent boundaries. But you see, a lot of people often mistake or actually presume, let me not be the one to cast aspersions here, assume that gentle parenting refers to parents who are overtly, calm, overtly, conversational. And there are so many videos like that. I'm sure some of you have. In fact, for the past 2 or 3 weeks, I don't know why my algorithm has been getting those videos, but there's always been this video. Every day I get them, of comparison. So you see a mother, trying to talk to the child. Child is throwing a tantrum. The child even hits the mother. 2-year-olds, toddlers, or 5-year-olds sometimes. I want ice cream. The mother said, no, I'm sorry, you can't have any ice cream right now. When you calm down, we can talk about you having your dessert. And the child goes, no. And then some very more disturbing videos will actually show the child maybe smashing the TV. Oh, yes. Or throwing their tablets on the ground. Tablets that cost close to $1,000 these days. Or, I like this one. The child actually went outside, right, and took a metal and scratched the mother's car. Mommy, I want ice cream. Scratch the car. The mother says, until you calm down, we will not be having ice cream. Wow. And then you have those other videos. The other videos that show a parent, enforcing some form of, corporal punishment or discipline. And one of my favorite, I think I shared this with you, is the one where the child was, being very difficult with the mother, and then the father just stands up, walks close to the boy, and snaps his fingers. All right, straight to bed immediately. The boy just, whoa, daddy's here, jumps into bed, and then turns around. Now, you see that particular clip, it has been over-analyzed, or is it analyzed? I don't know, but you choose. Several times, million times. In fact, last time I saw that video, it had clocked over 4.5 million views, right? And then the narrative was that child is not afraid of is not respecting of the father. That child is afraid of the father, and as such is not a healthy home. But others opine that no. You see, at that stage, there needs to be discipline. Now, to sum all of this up before I open the phone lines, you now have the comparison. Someone said, have you seen dogs when they're raising their children? When the mother is breastfeeding, at some point, maybe when the puppies are about maybe 8 weeks or 9 weeks old, the mother becomes irritable, doesn't want them around. And then when they come, guess what she does? She barks at them. She growls. Leave me. Go away. I don't want you. Go away. And then you are like, oh no, this mother has not been a good mother. No, but the mother is actually trying to wean the puppies off breast milk. So, my question this morning, ladies and gentlemen, good people of God, why are some African parents not employing the quote-unquote gentle parenting style? Oh no, Ikemefuna, you're not meant to pour it like this. Look at how you've poured this 15,000 naira worth of milk all over the floor. You don't do that next time. If you want milk, you talk to us. Instead, what you guys, Ikemefuna, what have you done? Wallahi talai, I'm going to break your news.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
And now, hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeriainfo.
All right, 92.3 Nigeriainfo. Numbers to call 0817-923-0002. 08179230003, 08179230002, 08179230003. At Nigeriainfo PH, at Nigeriainfo PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X. Robin is on the line from HA. Robin, good morning to you. Welcome to Hello Port Harcourt.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning.
To you. Thank God it's Friday.
Good, thank God it's Friday.
Yes. The question we ask and the topic, for me, I see it two ways. Normally, there are times you talk to the kid, your child, with soft voice.
Mm-hmm.
And there are times spontaneously, one will lose it. It's not all the time anyway. More so when the child has done that repeatedly. But however, the soft side, remembering how I was brought up.
Okay.
My mother always only has her kid by her side. That is plain when my immediate senior has defaulted. If you are given a task and you don't carry out the task, we'll come back, she'll wait for you. You then come and collect, depending on how she sentences us, either three strokes of the in our farm. My dad will be there in his sofa chair. He won't talk. Come and collect, we collect, go and bathe and eat. But if you don't want to eat, go and bathe and go and lie down. What am I saying? There are discipline you put on a child to make the child to understand and be conscious of the fact that this thing I'm doing is wrong.
Is wrong. Fair enough.
As you talked about the other aspect of a video that has gone viral, viewers over 4 million and all the rest, some are arguing, some are for, some are against. I want to tell you something. Practically, I have a child, I have a son. When once, even before he got to this age, if he goes to the grandma's place and he behaves deviously, and the grandmother tells him that they should call the father, they should call me, he will stop that thing. Even till now.
So would you say you are a gentle parent? Robin, would you say you're a gentle parent? Would you say you are a gentle parent?
Well, when I talk about gentility,
okay, let's go on the break. Let's go on a break, please. Sorry.
Nigeriainfo. Right back after this.
He's
on paper, it makes sense. But life is not just about what you can write down. There are realities to these things. And no, it's not just even an African viewpoint I'm sharing with you. I'm talking about viewpoints from the Westerners, from the Americas in particular. You see, in the Americas, when I say the Americas, I'm talking about both North and South America. So North America, that's Canada and the United States. South America, the Latin countries, Mexico, Argentina, Chile, and Ecuador. All those countries, right? Brazil, they make up South America. Now, you see, there's a very strong sense of family in those countries. Latinas are when I mean very, they are extremely protective of their children. Just the way many perceive African mothers as being very, protective. An African mother, will carry firewood for miles. The same thing, right? And I think mothers all over the world do that. But you see, in South America, the abuelas, talking about their grandmas, right? They are like the matriarchs of the home. A lot of decision goes through them. And yes, they don't waste time in removing their slippers to flog you. If a child is misbehaving, boom, out comes the slippers. In fact, it's almost like a universal theme in these countries or in these regions, talking about South America, here in Nigeria. How many of you have had those jokes about if you were running away from something, or you did something your mom was about to punish you, her slippers or sandals gets taken off, or maybe she throws maybe a spoon at you? The same thing happens in China, in Japan, in Philippines. In fact, there's almost no difference between the average Philippine family that I have engaged with and the average Nigerian family. Very, very similar. But once again, there is a narrative that is coming through, particularly amongst millennials. And that is, you see, most of those styles of parenting that we grew up with were abusive. Yes, they were abusive. So it is not unusual to get to hear a father or a mother says, no, the way my father and mother raised me, I wouldn't do that because I didn't like it. I would like to give my son, my daughter, what I think is going to be a better way of experiencing life on earth. And so you have parents who say, oh no, I want their children to be friends with them. And then on the other side of this table, you have people who tell you, you are not your child's friend. You are a parent first and foremost. So the idea, once again, of gentle parenting, if you are just joining us, is all about empathy. It's all about trying to get the child, to see that where they are at the moment is a safe space. It is not about having plenty money. No, it's about providing clear and consistent boundaries. So, the way you speak to the child, Junior, please don't do that. You are not meant to stand on the table. And some psychologists will tell you, rather than telling the child, don't do that, because the child will eventually do it, you direct the child's attention. So let's say Junior is jumping on the table. You rather than say, don't jump, you tell Junior, the table is not meant for jumping. You want to jump? Why don't you jump on this side of the room and see if that helps? Then you now have Mama Nkechi, Junior, if my hand meets you, your daddy will come and tell you the difference.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Hello, Port Harcourt, with Jude on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
017-923-0002, 017-923-0007. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416, 0809-030-6416. At Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH is where you will find us on Facebook and on X, at Nigeria Info PH, at Nigeria Info PH. All right, let's get to the phone lines. Now we have Zion and Muriel standing by. Let's get to Muriel. Zion, give us 2 minutes. Good morning, Muriel.
Hi, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning, please.
Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, it is. Oh,
Jude, I think parents, we can do the two. Be a parent and a friend. Now, as the child goes, this role switches. You now, first, as a little child, you be a parent first.
Okay.
Before a friend with a child. But as they grow old, they become teenagers. Please be their friends first before a parent. Look, dude, I go to my daughter's school. She's right here, you know. She's right here. I go to her. Whenever I go to her school, I put my hand on her shoulder. We just chill, we eat. And I try to tell her, your mom is good though. She said, my mom will never try that though. My daughter now told her that, you see, this is my mom. No mother is as strict. My mother is very strict. My mother can use, if you do anything, my mother can use a drum. She can lift a drum. She use it on you. Your head must straight. But also, friends, there is nothing we don't discuss about men, about her. She's right here. Let me even tell her, say her.
Hello, good morning to you.
I'm telling you, dude, I just all of them, even the boys, I put them on their shoulder with G's, with talk, but Jude, I am straight. And I think sometimes mothers are manipulative of these roles. They tend to leave the hard part to the husband. And the children now mistake it for their father not loving them.
No.
As a mother, you can be hard and you can be soft at the same time. If you don't know how to be hard, you're naturally soft. Please learn it. Don't leave it to the man. You're making the children not, to be scared of their father. They think, okay, mommy is kind, daddy is soft. So when they say that mommy is hard and cool, daddy is hard and soft and hard, the same thing. You see that it's normal for them. That's why when they grow up, you see that they stay away from their fathers. It's mostly the women's fault. Be hard too. Let them know that thing that their father is hard about, angry about, you don't like it. Don't do as if you can leave it now. You can compromise. When the father is too straight, he doesn't know how to show love. That is so wrong. I think we can switch those. We can do the two comfortably. Be a friend and a parent.
All right, Zion and Jerry. Zion, good morning. We have God's power. Rumudumaya waiting. Zion, go on, please.
Yeah, the raising up of the African child, there is nothing like abuse in it. A lazy set of people who have failed in their responsibility that tend to say that, the way we raise our children in Africa here is abusive. Check every parent, every father and mother that have a child now. When you were a baby, how did you behave? How did you behave? You cannot sow a seed orange and expected to get guava. Most of us today that our children are so passive at home, pumping everywhere, fighting, causing problem. Check us. When you are a kid, who are you? But if you find out that the character of the child is something else, ask your genes, your family member, any of my uncle behave like this? Anybody thief? Anybody rape? If there is nobody, then ask your wife where she carried this pregnancy come from. Dude, the truth we cannot tell ourselves, that we are free to tell ourselves, is this. If you are focused and deliberate to raise up your children, they will never be added to you. You appreciate them the way they are. But the moment you now attach sentiments and emotions, it's just say this speaking on my own. It's just say no be another person get this speaking. Carry my nose, carry my eyes.
But whether or not the paternity is in question, where it is not our focus. But the problem is, how do we get, or should we as Africans be embracing gentle parenting?
To the discourse. Parenting you are asking, I'm not talking about paternity issue here. We are talking about parenting, and you cannot remove paternity from parenting. It is the mindset you have for that child. How do you raise that your child? The way you think you should raise yourself, raise your child like that. If you cannot be patient with yourself, you can never be patient with your children.
Okay.
If you cannot accept defeat, you cannot accept your children. Most of us, we are too sentimental coming to raise our children because of the question I wanted to ask before you interjected. when a man starts doubting that child, anything that child does, we pepper him, we pinch him. Not be my picking be this one. He will carry sentiment, follow the picking. But when the man is so sure that this is speaking, what he go call him junior, na lie, junior. Why did they call picking them junior? It's not because the child look like his father, love his father. The father loves him. So raising up the African child, number one, is start with your attitude. When you are a child, how are you? They use that calibration to calibrate children as they grow up with you. As a father, is very easy here in Africa. Mr. Zion.
Divine is in Woji. Divine, good morning to you, please.
Good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning. Welcome, please.
Yeah, based on what we're discussing this morning, I think it will be right for both parents to be soft and be hard at the same time, both father and mother. Because if one is soft, the other one is hard, definitely, whether you like it or not, the children will tend to cleave to the one that is soft.
That is softer.
But depending on our psychology, tend to be cleave to that one, and then see the other person as a wicked person, while this one is a good part of the person. And by so doing, you that it seems to be hard, you may lose the children to the other person. But if you are both hard and both soft, they will know, yes, you are doing the right thing and you are correcting them for the right purpose. For example, for some days I've been in Benin and traveled, and every day they were bombarding me with their mother's phone messages. That day the house is no longer the same without you. We are missing you. We need your presence. And the wife is not around, the same thing they do. And again, because we play together, we dance together, we laugh together, we beat together, we don't leave. This morning, before they went to school, my first son asked a question, who is in secondary. He said, Daddy, alcohol, this alcohol, but people say you take alcohol when you have problems to solve the problem, so that the problem will die off. My wife jumped out from the kitchen, heard me correcting them. She added her voice. I said, well, alcohol, I would not say it is totally bad for what they are saying now, that they add it to drugs, they use it to produce cake. I said, but let me tell you this. Will you rather be in your right frame of mind, not being drunk, to solve a problem, or you drink alcohol to die out the problem, and when the alcohol clears on your eyes, you still meet the same problem? He said, I would rather stay awake and clear to solve the problem. I said, beautiful. So we must always learn to correct together. My wife also gave her own input. What I'm trying to say this, don't one party should not try to be hard while the other is soft. If you try it, when they grow up, there will be problems. Thank you.
All right, Divine from Moji. Let's get to message now. 0809-030-6416. 0809-030-6416. Now, this topic is interesting, even as it is also controversial. However, compare the society that has been compared to society that has been is what I will call subservient to the child for not administering enough discipline, and to a large extent the African society, and see the difference. All right, this one here says, Jude, good morning. See, this gentle parenting thing is not so difficult. The problem, however, is how we perceive this as Africans. Africans originally like a lot of control. There's nothing that will say anything beyond what I've just said. Look at our culture. The man is always the head. The man says yes, and yes, it is. The man says it's raining, it is raining. And so we've passed down that type of parenting style for generations. We are only trying to break away from that and realize that families are a safe haven and people have a right to express themselves in that space. It's not unusual to have people who are afraid to go and meet their daddies or their mummies. Why? Because the fathers have always been kings and the mothers have always been queens. Interesting. That kind of sounds good and bad at the same time, right? Because, you want your daughters to feel like they are queens. You want your sons to feel like they're kings. But I think I understand, where this person is coming from. That, for some people, the family used to have the daddy as the head. He says yes, and it's amen. Let it be done. There was no room for negotiation, it would seem. Now, from the case where that child scratched that parent's car because of ice cream, or more, I must say that I will do to that child anytime he hears about ice cream, he will remember that day. But in my opinion, at a younger age, children should have fear and big respect for the people around, because trying to talk to them at that age is of no use. So I suggest more actions than talking at a younger age, and then in their teenage years, communication will be more effective, because beating a child at that age is seen as embarrassing by that child. And it is very possible to be a friend and a parent to any child. God's gift from Bori. All right, this one here says, good morning. Some children are abused in Nigeria. Denying that won't change it. There are people today who were beaten, wounded, or even had pepper ground and inserted into their sensitive parts of their bodies when they were children. Oh, this is very true. This is very true. I have to reiterate this, right? To deny that children in Africa were abused is a disservice to our history. I knew parents who put pepper into the vaginas of their daughters. Let's not mince words. I knew parents who locked their children in small boxes, locked, and I mean with padlock like an animal, because they did something wrong. So yes, there are parents who have abused their children, their own biological children. It's not like the ones that they brought from the village. No, we're talking about their own biological children. They were abused physically and emotionally. Now, how can any sane human being even have the thoughts of grinding pepper to rub on a human being? Call that discipline. This is apart from those guardians, including biological parents, who sexually abuse them. So those don't count as abuse, because nothing done to a child in Africa counts as abuse. Please, let's stop platforming abuse enablers. Once again, we've had feeder, we've had confessions in this particular building where we are broadcasting from right now. We've had children run to us. In my early days as a broadcaster, we had children, we had mothers, and they run to us to complain about abuse by their husbands and their fathers. So yes, there is abuse. There is abuse. There's no doubt about it. But why exactly are people, hesitant to the gentle parenting style is the real question. In America, the argument is still ongoing. You want to gentle parent. Okay, no problem. But at what point do you do it? Don't forget, just in case you're joining us, the idea, the reason, the propagation of gentle parenting is that in raising children in the priority of connection, empathy, respect, validation, and positive discipline. So you have a lot of conversations with the child. And so over the years, people think, oh, if you're gentle parenting, that means you are permissive. I don't think that's true. If you're gentle parenting, your child is very stubborn. Oh, go ahead. That's not exactly true. Once again, I'm not saying gentle parenting is the answer. I'm saying, have you considered it? That's all I'm asking. Why is there such a resistance? Back to you now. 017-923-0002, 017-923-0007. All right. Okay, at Nigeriainfo, PH at Nigeriainfo. PH is where you will find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo. PH at Nigeriainfo. PH. WhatsApp is 0809-030-6416. We have Prince on the line. Prince is speaking to us from Rumokuta. Yeah. Prince, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, Mr. Jude, how are you?
I'm very well. Welcome to the conversation.
Yeah, my opinion, or from what I know, parenting, or in a family, there should be an adequate leadership. Children tend to learn from the leadership of the house, not whether you teach or not. But on the other hand, the father has to be hard and soft at the same time. Hard and communicable. one thing is to be under, is to be communicable. Don't just come and start teaching children without communicating with them for them to know what is right or wrong. I follow you.
Oh, listen to you,
So
please.
in most cases, why parents fail is usually because of lack of leadership in the house. If the man has taken leadership, taking over the place of leadership of that house, the children will definitely behave well and become also men in their adult age.
Okay. All right. All right, Prince. Thank you very much. It's all about leadership. Interesting. All right, Jude, good morning. Let's be honest. These problems are caused by society as it evolves, and it's only normal. You don't blame parents who came from abusive homes, all right, who are trying to do better by their children, particularly those who have the wherewithal. And so when you have parents in this country who are able to afford expensive schools, they will want the beatings that they received as children to be met on their children. They will find a better way, in their own eyes, to discipline their children. Yes, this thing about discipline is, I think the discipline is the fault line here, right? How do we do it? How do we do it? When do we do it? I think that's the biggest issue here. All right. Lawson is on the line. Let's get to say, is he Lawson? Yes. Lawson or Lawson. All right. Lawson's in Yenegua. Lawson, I have a minute for you. Good morning, Lawson.
Jude, yes, you have a minute for me, no problem. You see, parenting is very, very important. It's not something we should joke with. When you talk of parental responsibility, the father and the mother, but more on the father, that the leadership of a home is given by the father. The father is the leader. Don't forget, when God punished Eli, he did not punish the sons of the mother of Eli, Eli's wife. No, God faced Eli strictly. And when the punishment came, even when the warning came, it was Eli he warned. And when the punishment came, it was the father Eli and his two sons because of their behavior, not the mother. So fathers should take that role and see themselves as leaders and direct the home the way it should go. Very, very important.
Very important.
Where there is no father, I can tell you, will not go well at all. Most of those children go astray because the father is who gives leadership. Understand it, underline it, and know that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lawson. So, yeah, it's all about leadership. But how is that being practiced? Thank you very much.
Nigeriainfo will be right back.
Real Me is now in Nigeria.